curious and inspects the surroundings, seeming not to notice the spider hidden in plain sight. When the mouse gets close enough, the bird eater jumps into action and bites into the mouse. It decides this is a meal best savored properly and takes it into its dark burrow. Number 8. African wild dog. African wild dogs may be dogs, but they sure aren't the Fido we're used to. These wild dogs are vicious and will hunt just about anything they can get their paws on. In this clip, we see 2 African wild dogs attacking an animal called a puku. At first, it tries to escape, but one of the dogs tugs on it hard, preventing it from running away. The more these dogs bite down, the less the puku struggles. These wild dogs begin to tear the puku apart while it is still alive and slightly struggling. It is quite a gruesome sight to see the puku's guts beginning to pour out as it still remains standing and breathing. Wild dogs love to hunt in packs, as it gives them an advantage since they aren't the biggest or strongest animal. This is seen here, where a pack of African wild dogs surrounds a buffalo with a large growth underneath it. Wild dogs are extremely vicious and will eat pretty much any of their prey alive. Talk about a steak served rare. These dogs go for the growth on this buffalo and blood begins to spill everywhere. The buffalo eventually falls and gives up, and that's when all the dogs begin to gather and start on their large shared meal. In this next horrifying clip, a couple of wild dogs seem to be digging through the dirt for something. One of the dogs comes up with a hare, and the other dogs go crazy. They all grab a piece of it, some of them whimpering in excitement. African wild dogs have sharp teeth meant to shred apart their prey, and here we see them doing exactly that, tearing this hare apart. The body snaps in half with little effort, and the wild dogs attempt to share their new snack excitedly. Number 7. Great white shark. Great white sharks are feared for a reason. These animals are killing machines. Once they take a bite, it can be game over. They're not even afraid to kill humans, and that's what makes them such gruesome predators. Here, a seal swims around frantically underwater. A great white shark spots the commotion and grows hungry. This seal makes it more challenging by swimming around quickly and erratically, but the shark accepts the challenge. It follows the seal, and as the seal comes near the surface, the great white jumps out of the water and captures the entire seal in its death trap of a mouth. Great white sharks will go into a feeding frenzy once they smell blood. This means they'll eat anything in their way and become extremely crazed and violent. In this clip, a great white has captured a dolphin and is destroying it right near the shore. It stains the water red as the dolphin's blood spills out and gets mixed in a slurry created by the excited shark. How brutal is this scene? This next clip shows us a great white shark hunting through a group of seals. The seals try to swim away, but this only makes the great white more committed. Great white sharks are sensitive to electric fields. This allows them to detect the movement of muscles and even heartbeats. With this, the shark is basically a superhero underwater, or more like a supervillain, because look at how violently this shark leaps out of the water and grabs a seal. It begins eating it immediately, no time like the present. Number 6. Scorpion. Scorpions are feared, but they are still underestimated because of their size. This clip may change your mind, because if you know how deadly black widow spiders can be, you'll be shocked to see a scorpion picking a fight with one. This scorpion observes a nearby black widow and waits patiently. When the black widow gets closer, the scorpion tries to hit it a bit. When it is close enough, the scorpion grabs it and begins stinging it. Once the spider seems to no longer be able to take it, the scorpion begins to bite down on it, all with no difficulty. Scorpions aren't as fast or frenzied as some other predators. In fact, they may be considered by some to be quite chill. This scorpion watches a mouse walk around for a bit, then uses
Oh shit, man. We got the #1 guy in the country back on the channel, man. How you doing?
Yeah. Now I'm the hottest nigga on earth. Now you got to get this right. Yeah, nigga. I'm the baddest nigga, the hottest nigga on planet Earth. with 10 toes, 2 feet, a pair of lips, 2 ears and 1 eye.
What that nigga rude?
Yeah, you know a lot.
Hold on. What the fuck this nigga just say? This nigga high. Go ahead.
You know, we speak often, but since our last interview, a lot has occurred. Now, before we get to the shit that's trending right now, I want to get to you going to Chicago.
Yeah. That was some
You
big dogs.
you physically had your feet on Chicago land.
I physically went to Chicago and sat in DJU studio and gave an interview right around the corner from O Block.
Take us through that day.
Woke up early this morning. Woke up early that goddamn morning. I had me 2 trained law enforcement motherfuckers. One of them looked like Michael Strahan coming off that defensive end, tackling motherfuckers.
I'm not listening to a 2-hour interview from this nigga. I can't lie. You thought I was feeling you? But y'all making me.
Good to meet you, Jeremy. Okay, I know you say you own.
I mean, you'll get what you want, but you get a little song for the day, you feel me? You thought I was feeling you? I was making you lunch. My nigga went on an hour chase with the boys on the bike.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting into a complex here. If we open up a little bit, there's some apartment buildings. There appears to be some office space here and a dead end. Now, the helicopter overhead is going to be radioing in to the patrol cars in this area, and they may be able to get into a situation where they can try and figure out exactly where he's at and maybe take him into custody. Now, it looks like he's going through a courtyard right here. That's an interesting shot. Fortunately, there's nobody there. It's almost, if he knows this area, I don't know why you'd pull through an area like that knowing it comes out to another street if you haven't been here before. But certainly he's slowed down quite a bit. Looks like he's looking around and maybe, just maybe, thinking about taking a run for
This
it.
is top of the chat. Can't collapse it. Probably was alive.
We can look in this scenery, I guess.
Oh,
Go up just a little bit.
San Gabriel Valley.
That sounds California-ish.
That has to be.
Yeah, you were partially blocked there. There's the helicopter. Yeah, they won't. Sorry, Philip, you were partially blocked with your question, but they won't pull the helicopter off. I would doubt that. But we certainly see a change in demeanor. You know, we had 130 miles an hour on the 60 freeway. There he sort of takes off a little bit down this little surface street here in the Whittier area.
They
And
always got
the
the
helicopter
birds on
overhead's not going to
California.
back off. They're going to stay on him. There's no reason they wouldn't. Certainly, he's still a danger to the public, especially on surface streets like this. Go ahead and push in with the camera if you would a little bit. And do you see the high rates of speed now? Bring up our real-time speed tracker, but we could see him just take off all of a sudden. And, you know, you could have kids out here. I mean, certainly this could end up into a deadly accident. There's no question about that. And there is a real risk, but it's interesting that he's staying in this neighborhood, slowing down, looking around, then accelerating. Must know the helicopter's overhead, but no patrol cars behind him.
More like a slow bite. Can't lie. Hey, he taking off still. The bike doing it.
Yeah. Can accelerate. Yep.
Alright, I got money that this crash ends with him off the bike.
Man, they taking it easy.
Oh,
on
that
him.
nigga gave them the finger. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't even. Oh fuck. You went back.
Yeah.
I think he gave them the finger. Told you. Gave them the finger. Poor Sewell.
I can't really tell. There's really the patrol cars behind him a couple hundred yards. They're just having a hard time keeping up. It looks like they'd like to get right on his tail, but at this point, he's just too maneuverable for them, and the acceleration on that bike is such that the patrol cars get caught behind a red light, as they have now, and then he just slows down, almost, Philip, as if he's taunting them. When he sees the patrol cars go through the red light, you don't see this as well as I do, he accelerates. And then when they get stuck behind a red light, well, he slows down, and he waits for them to catch up. So it's almost like a cat and mouse game here. Open up a little bit so you can see the patrol cars behind him now and see how close they've gotten. Now look at that. That's what, really frightens you, I would think, if you're the motorcyclist. Somebody pulls in front of you, you hit them, and it could be all over very quickly. Crossing right underneath the 60 freeway now, headed southbound. And you can tell he waits for those the patrol cars to get on him, and then he just launches and takes off. So it almost appears that this is a bit of a game to this motorcyclist.
130.
Yeah.
Slowing down.
I think we're up to about 100.
Niggas. 65. He's on 40. Chilling right now.
Yeah.
Well, he got this bird on him. This bird ain't leaving.
I mean, you know, like one of those residential buildings. Like a couple of floors, at least 7. This is California. Go to downtown.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, no doubt about that. And if this is one of the wins, bring up the speed, would you? We're right on top. It should be accurate. And he is really moving now, 90 miles an hour. And look at that, in and out of traffic. So exactly right, Philip. I mean, although the public at large is in a bit of danger here, as far as if he crashes into a car or, God forbid, hits a pedestrian, because that could be fatal. If he crashes at these speeds, he's really going to be in trouble.
Do you not see these houses?
Hey, yo.
I seen way too many pools. I'm like, where the fuck is this? I need to know, is this the hood?
If you can give me the other side, it'd be great.
Yo,
I would go
don't
buy a
know.
house out here. East San Gabriel Valley? Dog, y'all can go back out if y'all want. I like the house view. Y'all can just give me overhead the niggas pause. Oh, the houses. Oh, look on this. Yo, you.
Yep.
It is on residential ass streets. Like you just be on the regular ass boulevard.
No, absolutely. And the patrol car
My man is like
swerving in and out.
sliding.
Almost like, yeah, here we go. They have changed something here. Up ahead in this intersection, there is a patrol car. I'm not sure which agency it is, but you're going to see the motorcycle come up to this intersection, and you're going to see the patrol car right there. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how they handle this. It
Some
looks like an LA
bitches,
County
they don't
Sheriff
do
patrol
nothing.
car. And they did force him to head that direction, but
Okay.
you know he doesn't look like he's too worried about it.
He
It almost
looked
looks
at
like
him.
he's looking back,
Said,
saying, "Come
"Fuck
on,
you."
catch me if you can."
Fuck you.
No, and I wouldn't think so. No, I've never seen that. I mean, more than likely, if you did it, you may injure or maybe even kill. Trip
the
either,
fuck outta
although
here.
that wouldn't be a
Yo.
possibility with a bike or anyone. Look at the speeds, Philip. That's an accurate speed, too, up to 117, now slowing down. It'll take a moment to kind of click down the way the sky map works. Sometimes you see that 137. It's not that. it went up to 100, and then it sort of evened out, and then it went back down. It'll give us an accurate speed here in just a moment. It's interesting the way the GPS acquires and does get onto speeds of vehicles. But those are accurate there, we believe, around 70, 80 miles an hour. And the acceleration is still incredible. But
He would have been Miami.
what that showed you moments ago was
That nigga
how
would've been in
difficult it
Kendall.
is for law enforcement to try and control something like this, to try and keep this or to stop this. And it's nearly impossible. And I
Bird,
really
man,
think
it's
they're just
killing
going
you
to
right now.
follow this from the air until this individual gives up. Makes a
Hey,
run
look, you got
for
the
it,
local ones right
goes to a
there.
parking
'Cause this is just a
structure,
news station. That's the local.
goes into an area where you can
sheriff's
run and get into a
following right
house.
there.
I've seen that several times. But I don't think, I really think they're just going to, or to stop this, and it's nearly impossible. And I really think they're just going to follow this from the air until this individual gives up, makes a run for it, goes to a parking structure, goes into, an area where you can run and get into a house. I've seen that several times. But I don't think they can stop it on the ground.
Into a house, dog. If he was smart, he'd go into a fucking what's the name? Not complex. What do you call it? Fucking a high-rise building where you got the parking in the
Facts.
building. I'm gone. Bitch, find me. You got 10 minutes to get into an apartment, bruh. I'm telling you, it's not that hard.
No, they won't. He won't lose the helicopter, but boy, look at how close that is and how fast that is, and how close it is to the vehicles. One wrong move, and this guy could be, he could be gone. He could be in an accident and kill himself, and he could, tragically, we hope not, injure
He's
someone else.
chilling.
But the speeds here have been excessive, and what was really unusual is how he slowed down to let that patrol car get right on his tail, pointed back at the officer, and then just launched in this bike. But the helicopter overhead will not lose him. We don't have weather
Yeah, with
conditions.
some money to run out of
Sometimes it's really
gas.
foggy. You might have an issue. We're not in airspace that would restrict us from flying through this. And more than likely, they'll never be able to get at a speed higher than what the helicopter can travel. Even though it might go a little faster than the helicopter can go direct, and most streets don't go just absolutely in one direction. So you can kind of cut them off. We have followed a couple of pursuits where the motorcycle was faster than us. We can go about 130 knots, 140 miles an hour, 142, 145. Somewhere in there would be our max speed.
I may have a full tank.
But we've never seen one that really traveled at that rate of speed for such a long time that we couldn't at least keep them in our sights.
He like, man, can he stop following me? If the bird wasn't on you, you'd be gone, dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Look at the local bird, dog. He's on his ass.
I got your back, guy.
He's right on top of him.
Dog, do you know this area? Do you got a GPS? Cause I need you to have GPS. You don't need to be hitting no dead end streets, dog. Well, you got time.
Obviously, California rules long as shit. Everybody always running.
Imagine if you were in another high speed chase and I guess two of them shit at the same time.
Going on at the same fucking time.
Well, he was on the freeway when we first picked him up on the 605 North, and he got off on Vincent, I believe, on the
looking
10.
up
We
that
followed
shot.
him on the freeway for a while.
Y'all
He did
pissing
cross
this
back
thing
over the
off.
10, had an opportunity to get back on the
Cruising
freeway, and
right
then
now.
decided not to.
Bro, is
We're
he
like
on
right
the
in between the 10 and the
No one
60
hand
right now.
cruising.
And you can see the motorcycle
Oh,
has
breaking.
slowed considerably, looking around, now turning around, going back in the opposite direction. I don't see any patrol cars behind him,
Nah,
and so
He said, pull up.
it's difficult to even
nah.
He told the niggas, pull up.
what he's thinking. He's taking his shirt off or his jacket or backpack or something and threw it there.
Oh, the drugs.
At least he dropped off the
Yeah,
guy.
and there's nobody behind him, though. I don't see any patrol cars behind him, so he's acting a little unusual now. I've seen this a little bit, but right now it's just the helicopters overhead radioing his position. They'll sort of see. I mean, they'd like to get this guy into custody. They don't want this type of thing to take place. It's a danger to himself. It's in rode up to that and just got
Did this
enough so
nigga
that he
get
could
gas?
drive long enough with social media the way it is. They're gonna get.
No, that's not real. On the set, nah. Real talk. Go. Yeah, please, John. No.
The Sheriff's Department did the identity is not done. Now, this is interesting. Stopping in a gas station, talking to someone. Now, we haven't seen him on. He could actually be talking to people
Let me get
and
the rest
heading
of
to
that
this
gas.
location to meet someone. Although it's possible, you know, they have those helmets that have. Oh, well, look, is he going to get into that vehicle? Oh, he's stealing the gas. Look at that. He rode up to that and just got enough so that he could drive on. It didn't look like he took much on, but those motorcycles do not. Boy, look at that. I'm sure that person was frightened, too, as they pulled up. I'm assuming they didn't know that individual.
Hey,
Could have.
yo.
And
My
he's
nigga
waving at the
stopped
sheriff's
and got
helicopter.
gas. That was gangsters. Fuck. Yo, he pulled up to a
Waving at no,
gas
that
station
drive on. It just
in the middle of a
he-
high-speed
It's interesting.
chase.
Stopping and again, so far this guy has not done anything to let authorities know who he may be. Now this is interesting. Stopping in a gas station, talking to someone. Now we haven't seen him on.
But guess what?
He could actually be talking to people and heading to this location to meet
My nigga
someone.
said,
Although it's
"Man, I
possible,
don't
you know, they have
see
those helmets
nothing,
that
dog.
have. Oh, well, look, is he going
That's
to get into
a
that
real
vehicle?
nigga.
Oh,
I'ma
he's
look
stealing
out
the
for
gas.
you,
Look
dog.
at that.
I'ma look out for
He
you.
rode
Put it
up
back
to
in
that
the
and just got
car.
enough so that he
He
could drive
really
on.
just
It
took
didn't
a
look like he took
dab.
much on,
Dog, all
but
he
those
took was like
motorcycles
half a
do
gallon.
not. Boy, look at that. I'm sure that
10
person
seconds
was
to your
frightened
gas,
too as
dog.
they pulled up. I'm
That's
assuming they didn't
$2.
know that individual. Could have. And he's waving at the sheriff's helicopter.
No, he's not waving. I love how they're saying waving or pointing instead of saying giving him the fucking thing. Oh, that's the one.
Yep. But a gallon gets you a long way. You get, you know, large standards are hit by on the roadway, and it was. Then you start to get, you know, different procedures with those agencies, and sometimes one city that will say, "Hey, just let him go," another city may say, "Hey, let's see if we can stop this guy." So, as we, you know, he travels out through the city in all these different areas. Sometimes we'll see a different approach on the ground.
That nigga said, I'm leaving the state. I'm going to Nevada.
Hey, yo, my God.
Usually has enough
Yep.
gas to get into Nevada. Just
The 10. Yeah, the West San Bernardino Freeway, not far from the 605. We're in Baldwin Park, and we did see speeds up to 130
So I
miles
guess
an
when
hour
we get to Wellington,
earlier on the
traffic
freeway.
like
We'll
that.
see if he starts to travel at that rate of speed. And then also, you know, CHP may engage. If he stays on the 10 westbound for a long stretch of time, they may decide to get involved. But earlier, they had just backed off. They weren't interested in trying to follow the motorcycle at those types of speeds.
nigga go like about 45 minutes into it. Yeah. What I tell you about that high ride?
Still doing
Yeah, there's
100.
no doubt about that. He's got good control of.
If he's smart,
Hold it right here. Now he went back that way. So just pull it into a hover.
Oh,
make a
oh,
right
watch
pedal
the,
turn.
watch the bus.
chill. This nigga, listen, he played Grand Theft Auto.
This is good. Go to the north a little bit. Just hold it right here, basically. You're good. Just hold it in a hover. You better go north so we're not right on top of the sheriff's ship. Keep going north. You're clear out my window. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, he did. You know, we've gone around in circles to just south of the 210 on the lake in Colorado here on Green Street now, right in the heart of downtown Pasadena. It's unclear Pasadena PD is going to get involved.
Yes,
There we
what I
go.
tell
We
you,
talked
I
about
said,
this
no, not
earlier.
that building.
Went into a parking structure, and that's why you want to have units behind him if you want to take him into custody, because we're into a parking structure here with a helicopter overhead. He'll be radioing for the patrol units in Pasadena to head this direction. And all we could do is keep a wide shot and see if we see the suspect come out. But I've seen several of these pursuits with motorcycles and vehicles as well, where the suspect will finally go into a parking structure and then try and make a run for it on foot, and we'll just have to see exactly how this is going to unfold.
Yeah, that's basically what's about to happen.
No, that's not.
The nigga.
I'm not. Yeah, you know, pass it, but if you can, I think we can go up a little bit.
Damn it!
Sim or not, but it could be if he got rid of his, and basically he's only able to walk out. So they do want to surround it at this point, and we didn't see him come back out from the parking structure.
How y'all know I was there?
Don't know for sure yet, but the demeanor of the police
know
right
for
now
sure.
is not.
You sure
Possible they did-
like that well? That was very
I never had to do that because I was flying and reporting, so I'd always be like, "Hey man, can you make the call?" Yeah. Good job. Good job, Josh. That was awesome. Yeah, these kind of fun. I like them better when they're done before.
2 days ago.
The day of the chase, I left the house, went to go run a couple errands, bought some things for my car, went and sold some dope, rolled through a stop sign. I seen a cop a block over. He gets behind me, sure enough, pulls me over. He comes up, tells me what I did, asks for my license and insurance. Of course, I don't have them. I glance in my mirror, he's running my name. The nervous energy was overwhelming. I've got pistols, I've got drugs, I've got to go. Chase is on. I may be able to get away if I can make the right moves real quick. But I'm still not thinking, you're gonna get your ass in trouble for doing this. I don't think I have any idea, where I'm trying to get to right now. I'm just trying to get away. Many emotions going through my mind right there. Am I gonna hit this van? Am I gonna hurt myself, someone else? That feeling of, whatever's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking.
Taft was driving the wrong way on roadways. He was doing U-turns in the middle of the intersections. He was running people off the road. If they're driving the wrong way and hit somebody head on, in the state of Oklahoma, that's first-degree murder.
That's first-degree murder. First degree.
When I first saw the helicopters, I felt sick in my stomach. Just that thought of knowing that you might get away, it just went away.
You better
They
prove
started
it
throwing out
wasn't your
spike
fault.
strips.
Go throw stop sticks here. He missed him. He missed with the stop sticks there. That the suspect was able to get over.
I just turned right there to miss a spike strip they'd thrown out. So I had two choices: run over spike strips, get flat tires, or jump on the highway. So I took the out and I got on the highway.
You're looking at real stupidity in motion here.
I'm doing anywhere from 100 to 120 miles an hour at all times on the highway, even cutting in and out of traffic.
And now, like the OHP officer is trying to bump the back of that car.
Like they spun him out.
He spun out. He's now heading backwards.
My nigga.
There was
My
a
guy.
That's
Yes.
unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Take that back.
Everything happens so
We out.
quickly, I'm trying to steer, shift gears, and not hit anything, and everything's a blur though. I tap the brakes, downshift to second, pull out of it. I'm pretty surprised that I was able to recover from it, and first instinct is just keep going. Don't give up yet. I get back up to about 60 miles an hour pretty quick.
He's going to try it
They're
again.
going to try it again. They're going to try it again.
I have never seen anything like this.
I spin a complete 360, and I'm still going.
We are still going westbound. They're trying to spin him out here on I-240.
This person has the lives of a cat.
So they hit me on my passenger side, which spins me the opposite way. I end up hitting the wall on the highway, skid down it. This might be over. I'm done.
There we go. It worked. Third time worked.
You better run in the reverse, brother.
I'm going reverse. The highway patrol's bumping me from the front. We lock eyes, I'm pretty sure he figures I'm about to give up.
They're trying to corral him, but boy,
He is not
Spin
giving
that
up.
bitch.
No, this
he
is
is determined to get
unbelievable.
away.
Shift the blood clot.
car's still running. Why give up? I can't believe what's happening. So I continue going.
What the fuck are you driving? Is that a
I'm feeling pretty
Mustang?
cocky about everything. You know, it's like, hey, you're not gonna stop me.
This chase needed to end.
Oh, you're violent. Oh, you're just fucking violent. Get that shit.
The
Oh, he
fourth one
mad
is
as
actually
shit.
the worst. Yeah.
You mad that you had
When
Across
fire
the
hydrant
hood.
Stopped me. The car's still running. I've got air in all 4 tires. I just can't go anywhere. The only thing I could see at that time
They beat
was
your
cops
ass.
surrounding my car.
Tell your
They were
story,
yanking
bro.
from both sides. They jerked me so hard they pulled me out of my shoes.
I bet they did.
Whatever it takes, we're going to get you. We've got helicopters, we've got dogs, we've got radios, and we've got a lot of people. And the numbers are stacked against you.
I was probably relieved that it was over, and at the same time, I wish it wouldn't have been over. But I ended up getting a 12-year sentence in the state penitentiary.
That is some group of people, thousands. So nice. Thank you very much. That's
Big
really
announcement.
nice. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
My youth running again.
I am officially announcing that Eric is potty trained.
Clickbait. Somebody got
The
me.
day of the chase, I left the house, went to go run a couple errands, bought some things for my car, went and sold some dope, you know, rolled through a stop sign. I seen a cop a block over. He gets behind me, sure enough, pulls me over. He comes.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight
Let's
announcing my
go.
candidacy for President of the United States.
Bomboras Clad. Big Trump. Big Trump. Big Trump. Big Trump.
Thank you, kids. Thank you. All of you.
Big Trump. Center stage. Big Trump.
So many incredible friends and family
Nah,
here
come on.
tonight. It's such a beautiful thing. Some people say, "How do you speak before so many people
nah,
all the
come
time?"
on.
When there's love in the
Well,
room, it's really easy.
no
if you
more
want to
broken
know the truth.
situation.
Really, you ought to try it sometime. Together, we will be taking on the most corrupt forces and entrenched interests imaginable. Our country is in a
If the
horrible
Democrats
state.
don't
We're in
step
grave
up,
trouble. This is not a task
The
for a
Republicans
politician or a conventional
wanna
candidate.
run
This is a
through the
task for a great movement that embodies the courage, confidence, and the spirit of the American people. This
My
is a
nigga is
movement. This
tan.
is not for
his hair is
any one
perfect.
individual. This is a job
The pin
for
is in the
tens
right
of
spot.
millions of proud people working together from
learned
all
his
across the
lesson,
land
people.
and from all walks of life, young and old, black and white, Hispanic and Asian, many of whom we have brought together for the very,
neck
very first
moves.
time.
It's okay.
If you look at the numbers, if you look at what's happened with Hispanic, with African American, with Asian, and just look at what's happening. This is a party that has become much bigger, much stronger, much more powerful, can do much more good for our country. This is a job for grandmothers and construction workers, firefighters, builders, teachers, doctors, and farmers who cannot stay quiet any longer. You can't stay quiet any longer. You're angry about what's happening to our country. Our country is being destroyed before your very eyes. It's a job for every aspiring young person and every hard-working parent,
All right.
for every entrepreneur and underappreciated police officer who is ready to shout for safety in America. The police are being treated so badly. These are great people. They can straighten out the crime. They're the ones that know how to do it. We have to give them back their respect and their dignity.
Give it back to him. Give it back. Palm Beach.
This will not be my
Mar-a-Lago.
campaign. This will be our campaign all together.
Let's go.
Because the only
My
force
neighbor.
strong enough to defeat the massive
neighbor.
corruption we are up against is you, the American people. It's true.
he's
The
our
American
neighbor.
people, the greatest people on earth. We love them all. And we love both sides. We're going to bring people together. We're going to unify people. And it was happening in the previous administration, previous to the previous. And what was bringing them together was success. Prior to COVID coming in, the people were calling me, that were calling me. You wouldn't believe it. People that were so far left, I figured they'd never speak to me and I would never speak to them. But our success was so incredible.
You've been listening
like never before.
to the former president announcing that he is running for president again, rewriting the history, most recently, of the midterm elections. Back with Dana Bash, Caitlin Collins, Alyssa Farah Griffin, joining us as well, CNN presidential historian Tim Naftali. Dana, any thoughts on what you just heard?
Well, he certainly tried to heed the warnings of those around him. Well, what they really wanted him to do was not make this announcement right now.
So joining us now, basketball legend, NBA analyst, Mr. Charles Barkley. Good morning to you, sir. I really appreciate you joining us.
Of course, Don. Thank you guys for having me.
Why so outspoken, especially when it comes to this issue? You know, even as someone who you're covering sports, but you're speaking out about issues that have to do with culture and society. Why so outspoken about this?
Well, Don, I don't like that word outspoken because I hope anybody who sees racism in any form whatsoever should stand up, whether it's against a black person, a Hispanic person, a Jewish person, Asian. Asian hate's going a big deal in this country right now. So anybody should try to do the right thing. If you see something wrong when it comes to race or homophobic or sexist, you should always say something. So, I'm always going to do that. I don't care about the repercussions. If I see something wrong happening, Don, I'm going to say something.
How do you think the league should deal with it? Because, listen, he's still on suspension, but how do you think the league should deal with it? The reason I ask is because, you know, everyone is speaking out about it. Kyrie Irving is facing, you know, what he's facing. But the league let him go for a long time. They sort of are forcing him to apologize, but what if these are his real beliefs? Should they be dealing with that as well? Maybe they have someone who actually believes these things. I'm not saying it's right. Instead of forcing him to apologize, maybe they should be dealing with that part of it.
Actually, that's a great question, Don. People have the right to feel and say what they want to. We have freedom of speech, but there are repercussions when you say certain things. Listen, I don't know Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I think he's been suspended, rightfully so, and I think he should come back and play in the NBA. But,
I think
you know,
he should too.
That's a really slippery slope because, you know, people always talk about freedom of speech, freedom of effect, well, you say whatever you want to, but there are repercussions. I mean, and he's paying for that right now, but this thing with free speech has really gotten out of hand, Don. I mean, you just can't go around insulting people and think it's okay just because it's freedom of speech.
Well, people say, well, listen, if I don't get to say what I say, it's cancel culture. And I don't know if you probably...
Fucking Barkley. And guess who gives a fuck? Ask the Jewish community if they give a fuck that I'm dissing Charles Barkley every day.
No, not at all.
Do you give a fuck?
No.
Thank you.
No, not at all.
My point.
But he definitely covered his ass stepping into this. If you hear him,
We do not agree with that.
I mean, he don't agree with this.
Maybe apologize, but league feelings.
In any that word outspoken, because I hope anybody who sees racism in any form whatsoever should stand up, whether it's against a black person, a Hispanic person, a Jewish person, Asian. Asian hate's going a big deal in this country right now. So anybody should try to do the right thing. If you see something wrong when it comes to race or homophobic or sexist, you should always say something. So, I'm always going to do that. I don't care about the repercussions. If I see something wrong happening, Don, I'm going to say something.
How do you think the league should deal with it? Because, listen, you know, really culture, and I don't know if you...
I mean, like, he already talked about everything, and he gave back already almost $1 million. And like, y'all need to come to some slack. All he did was repost a video that was like, well, movie title that he enjoyed.
The boy didn't even say he enjoyed it.
He was like, watch it. It's fucked up.
Over the course of the entirely predictable, slow-rolling, five-alarm thermonuclear dumpster fire that has been Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter these past few weeks. Over the course of the entirely predictable, slow-rolling, five-alarm thermonuclear dumpster fire that has over the course of the entirely predictable, slow-rolling, five-alarm thermonuclear dumpster fire that has been Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter these past few weeks.
One more time.
Over the course of the entirely predictable, slow-rolling, five-alarm thermonuclear dumpster fire that has been Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter these past few weeks, one of the few saving graces has been this, that even after sweeping layoffs, chaotic changes, and reports of cratering company morale, at least there were still a handful of people there keeping the lights on, minding the important stuff, in charge of things like security, safety, privacy. No more. In the last 48 hours, 3 top executives in charge of things like security, safety, and privacy resigned. Now, whether or not you use Twitter, I know lots of you do, surely you can understand how fraught a moment like this could be. The app that has, for better or worse, become a kind of national town square where hundreds of millions